Hey there, guys and girls out there in LSJK Swapland. Jim from Dragtek. Got a few questions lately in regards to the Powerplay harness setup. So I just finished one up for a 7 to 11. So I'll turn the camera around, or turn me around, and take a look at it and go through it. Maybe it'll answer most of your questions. All right, here we go. All right, I know I've got another video. I'll see if I can integrate the two of them in regards to positioning and placement, but this is a basic Powerplay harness. There we go. One end to other end. It's fairly involved. Honestly, it is fairly involved harness. Basically, what we're doing is creating clean power supplies for your LS standalone harness. Clean power supplies for input and outputs and all that good stuff. Not using that Chinese cheap ass relay block you get with like standalone harnesses and crap like that. So a little bit more durable, a little bit more weather resistant than what you get as far as powering components are concerned. So we'll just start at the, I guess we'll just start here down the corner and work our way around the harness. So down here, this would be your passenger side run. Back corner, your passenger side down. These are extra set of wires that are included in the harness. These ones, if you have a Rubicon, I use these ones to tie into your Rubicon lockers. So you can still control your Rubicon lockers. You're gonna have to rewire them. But this will allow you, this circuit runs all the way inside. So you can rewire your Rubicon lockers here and then use these wires to control them going inside. Coming down, got a ground for this side. We've got our fan 1 relay. When you go to LS swap, you're not going to be able to access the fan 1 relay. It's in the TIPM and it's circuit board controlled, so you're not going to be able to access it. Here we have our plug-in for our main power relay setup. So our power and switch power going to our fuse box. Reverse light tie-in. This is going to tie into the harness underneath the TIPM. Here is our fan 1 relay. This fan 1 relay is also spliced into the AC system that we wire in. So it's spliced into our AC switches. So when the fan comes on, or the AC gets turned on and it requests the fan, it's going to try and control this relay here. Coming down, then you just come down into the flying leads. And these are fuel pump, fuel level, fan 1, and then left turn, right turn, left turn, right turn, high beam, parking lights. These are all the circuits you need to tap in the front passenger corner of the JK to get the signals inside, because the JK cluster connectors are all CAN bus based, so there's no individual parking light, left turn, right turn, or signals in the dashboard to tie into. So if you want those functions on your gauges, whether they're aftermarket, aftermarket like Haltex, aftermarket gauges like ours with integrated signals and stuff like that, you still need to get those signals up there. So that's the only way to get them in. Tap them down there and then shoot them inside. So coming across the harness, this is back firewall. This is where your battery tray is. Your edge of your battery tray is right here on a 7 to 11. This fuse box will sit right like so. We include a bracket that mounts it between the battery and the TIPM. As you can see, there's 6 relays in there, a handful of fuses, and room for growth if you want to. But, you know, you've got fuel pump relay, you've got a starter relay, you've got a flip relay for neutral safety, you've got AC relay, and the AC fan control relay, and then a trans torque converter lockup relay. Everything's fused, and then you have fuses for all the ignition circuits and the ECU and all that good stuff. And then terminated 2-wire connector to the power relay block that we give you. This comes across the firewall. This runs across the back firewall, and it's going to loop down. And this is going to be the driver's side loop, and this is the loop into the interior. So this all lays out real nice, and this is going to swoop in to the inside. So this swoops inside. This is your driver's side. We'll just go down this and do the driver's side harness. So the driver's side harness, here is our cruise control hookup. So this connector runs through the harness down inside into the interior, so you can hook up aftermarket switches to run cruise. This you'll just splice into your cruise harness, go into your TAC module. Cruise wires go into your TAC module. This cat right here, this is your AC. Well, this is our AC, but this is the AC you can use to hook up a AC trinary switch to control your AC system in a standalone LS swap. So it has AC request, AC on, and then a fan control, which again goes back over, all goes back over to the relay box over there and does what it's supposed to do. So hooking up a trinary switch to this will get your signals to the AC control relays and the fan control relay as well, and turning that on will be in the interior harness. We'll get to that in a minute. Just another chassis ground, and then these are the connectors for going to your LS standalone harness. So ignition circuits, power circuits, reverse lights, starter, and then all your secondaries, AC clutch, neutral safety, fuel pump control, fan control, speedo output, TAC output, mill light output, torque converter, all that stuff is in those connectors. So if we do a standalone harness for you, you send your harness in, then I build your standalone, and then I put the mating connectors on here for you so that when you get it back, it's all plug and play. If you just order the harness, you're gonna get this terminated, and then you're gonna get 2 mating connectors that you have to wire in yourself to your LS harness. Complete wire diagram and all that stuff, of course. So back down here, this is the trunk that goes inside. This is the one that's going to pass through your grommet. Usually we take the clutch grommet out and run this through the clutch hole on most Jeeps. So here is your circuits going to for your cruise control switches. We supply switches for you, aftermarket rocket switches that work for this setup. But this is your cruise up, cruise down, AC turn on, switch power for the switch is already there, and ground for the switch is already there. So these will be your cruise controls, wiring, and AC controls. Usually this goes to like a Daystar panel on the dashboard, on the center console dashboard. So you put some aftermarket rocker switches in there, again, which we supply, but it's this regular Carling style switches. Put a little control panel, a little dash panel, switch panel there in the center, and then pop the switches in, and that's where you wire your cruise on, off, and then cruise up, down, and AC on switches. So it takes 3 switches to control all that, both AC and cruise. And let's see which one's next. Let's grab this one. This one right here is your data link, pre-terminated data link pins. Obviously, you're not going to get that data link connector through the firewall, so it's just pinned. So this is your serial data for your GM data link, for your GM ECU. This ring, this ring right here, this band of wires, this is your cluster trunk or circuit run, or you call it where you come from. So this is the wiring that would go up to your dash area for your aftermarket cluster, whatever you're running. And this again is, you got power and ground supplied already for you. We'll switch power and ground supplied for you. Then this is everything else. This is left turn, right turn, TAC, speedo, mill light, fog light, and then oil pressure circuit. You got a water temp circuit, all in there. So that's what comes in that bundle basically. That's all your signals, your indicator signals, if you would, your gauge signals are all in that. So that's those 3 bundles. This bundle is going to your ignition and your brake. So this is, you hook up to your ignition circuit on the JK. Just this wire right here, this pink wire, you tap into your ignition circuit, and it controls the ignition setup for the LS. Pretty much it. That's all it's doing, is turning on the LS stuff. This is an ignition circuit. So it's clean, creates clean power. Nothing jumped off the CAN bus system, no CAN bus delays, no CAN bus recall, no CAN bus tripping, anything like that. You've got this terminated wire here, which plugs into your key switch to give you key switch start signal, which goes back over there to our relay box. And then you've got the purple and black, which ties into your brake switch. So control cruise and the transmission torque converter lockup. These are the tail end of the extra circuits from the locker wire harness over there in that corner like we just talked about. These are the extra circuits that you can run these to whatever. Like I said, we use these for controlling the lockers on a Rubicon with aftermarket switches. So, because once you take the Jeep computer out of the system, the lockers don't work anymore from the factory switches because they're based on speed inputs and so on and so forth and whatnot. So we just take them out, hardwire them to switches, and call it done. That way, at the same time, you can control your lockers at any time you want to, not based on the TIPM or the ECU or anything of that input. So you want to turn your lockers on a four-wheel drive high, boom, you can do it. You want to turn just your front locker on, boom, you can do it. You want to turn just your rear locker on, boom, you can do it. Anytime, any speed, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, doesn't matter. So basically, you're doing a locker mod. And then just a ground harness. These are the grounds that you just bang over to the firewall. There's a ground stud on the firewall and just loops over and hits it. Wires are more than long enough to do whatever you want to with them. They're probably slightly longer than they should be, but sometimes people have to route things around, and so a little bit extra length never hurt anybody. So be that. So that's pretty much the overview of a Powerplay harness. Firepower harness, Powerplay harness. It'll be a fire-powered harness now with the separation. So, but anyways, that is your LS JK integration harness. So again, it's not something chintzy or small or anything. It is pretty well integrated system. Again, so fuse panel is. So this is a weather tight seal. There'll be a weather tight cover that goes on this, and then all these pins have weather tight seals on the back side, and in the box you can see a little bit of the seal in there. The box is sealed as well, and again, this will mount onto our supply bracket. Weather tight connectors on both ends of it. So when dealing with power, obviously you want to keep water off of it because electricity and water create electrolysis, which creates corrosion, which creates all kinds of stuff. So again, being sealed and weather protected, you're already 100% better than those cheap harnesses or those cheap relay pods that are all open-ended that most companies send with their harnesses from the eBay LS harnesses all the way up to some of the name brand stuff. It's still all open-ended connectors and open-ended terminals and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, you're stepping up with the sealed unit. It works out really nice, lines up really nice. It's compact, kind of thing. And then again, these units have a couple extra ports on them. You can get some extra stuff up there, upgrade if you want to. I may be changing the box design on the 07 to 11s kind of scenario in the future, but that's the next round if I have to. 12 to 13, same concept, but instead of having a box, it does have comes up in here, lines up in here, right here as a matter of fact. It lines up here, and it is same thing. It's a sealed terminal block module, if you would. All the same features are in there, except that it mounts to the side of the battery tray on a 12 to 18, where this one mounts on a bracket. This one just slides right next to the battery, tucks in there real nice. I'll have one of those here, maybe a week or two. I've got a couple Hemi and LS harnesses to get through in the meantime before I get to that, so we'll follow up with that one later. So again, there we go. That's what you can expect to get if you order the firepower harness. Like I said, this is just not a simple, cheap thrown together harness. This is a pretty well integrated harness. It takes me roughly about 18 hours to build these. And lay it all out, do all the connectors, everything's crimped by hand, so on and so forth. So everything's inspected as it goes. So if you're looking for to bridge the gap between your LS standalone swap and your JK, and getting power to it and getting information to the Jeep dashboard area and all that kind of stuff, where to tap power from, where to get signals from, how to power this, how to power that, how to run AC lines, all that stuff is integrated into this harness. All integrated into this harness. So there's value in that. There is value in that. So again, if you need to bridge that gap, order up a harness. If we need to do some custom work to it, we can always add more circuits and do a couple other things, whatever we need. But yeah, this is a great product to bridge that gap between your LS standalone and your JK. Getting power to everything, powering fuel pumps, powering fans, activating fans, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, there you go. There's the overview on the Powerplay / Firepower harness for your JK LS conversions. Again, 7 to 11 or 12 to 18, two different setups, same application. So, all right, guys and girls, we'll get out there, get in the garage, get your projects moving, order up a couple harnesses to make your life easy. Let's get to it. We'll see you on the trails.